This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, hi, good morning now. So let's get started now. So we will work on circumstance later. So now we'll be working on approval process. Okay. So if you take home loan or auto loan, so we have the different screens, right? So borrower detail, loan details, if it is home loan, so we are filling home loan details, then assets and liabilities, etc. Okay. So once you submit all the screens, it has to uh, go for approvals, right? So let's say, so once it goes for manager, so manager, can approve or reject it. So let's say if manager is approved and based on certain conditions, so we will determine whether another approval is required or not. Okay. And sometimes, so we can reject the request before it is going for approval. Okay. Let's say, you are applying for the loan and your assets are lesser than liabilities. Okay, so in that case, so it might reject automatically. Okay, so now how it will be is here. So first we are going to calculate, the borrower's risk. Okay, let me share this. Yeah. So first we will determine borrower's risk. If the borrower is risky, so we will reject the case without going for approvals. Okay. So it will be like, first we determine, okay, whether the borrower is risky or not. Okay. So here we will have a decision. So that means like, here we will be writing decision table or decision tree. So if it is risky, so it will be rejected here. It will be ended. Okay. And so we will update the status accordingly, saying that it is resolved with risky. Okay, if it doesn't risky, means like, borrower is not risky, it will go for manager approvals. Okay, so but before it is going for manager approvals, so we need to determine private mortgage insurance for home loan. Okay, so let's say if borrower is paying less than 20% of the asking price as a down payment. Let's say, asking price, that means the total value of the home is 50 lakhs and borrower is paying less than 10 lakhs. That means less than 20%. Okay. So in that case, so we need to calculate PMI premium. So, that the borrower is going to pay as part of the monthly installment. If borrower is paying more than 20%, then we don't need to calculate that. Okay. So in that case, what we need to do before it is going for manager approvals, we need to determine PMI premium. So again, we'll have a decision here. Let me put here. Okay. second. So now, if the PMI premium is required, it will calculate and it will go for manager approvals. If PMI premium is not required, then so directly it will go for manager approvals. The simply here, so we are determining whether PMI is required or not. Okay. So this is manager approvals. Okay. So now, so once it goes for manager, either manager can approve or the reject it, right? So let's say if manager is approved, again we need to determine whether the loan officer approvals required. That is next level of approvals. Okay. So let's assume that so manager is approved. Okay, and it will go for loan officer approvals. So if manager is rejected, then it will be ended here. Saying that the rejected by managers. Okay. So again, the loan officer can approve or reject it, right? So let's say if it is approved, then so we'll update the status saying that the resolve completed. So if loan officer is approved, then that means the loan is accepted, like so it will be approved completely. So if loan officer rejected, then it will be rejected and we'll update the status saying that rejected by loan officer. So this is how our approval process would be. Okay, any questions? And so we'll be implementing the flow in this way. Okay, so what we do is, so we will create a separate flow for approvals, and so we will call this flow in the main flow. So we have a home loan flow, right? And we'll include there. Okay, so first what we need to do, this is for calculate the borrower's risk. So here we'll be creating some decision table, and in order to calculate the PMI premium, so we need to uh, yeah we need to create a decision tree, and for approvals we need some screen here. Then again, to determine loan officer approvals, we'll be creating so here in between again we'll have some decision. Okay, so we need to check based on that whether the loan officer approval is required or not. Okay, so this is just sample flow. Okay, so let's create a flow called approval process in the work class, and we'll be reusing for home loan as well as auto loan. So for auto loan, so we'll have to put some condition to restrict some functionalities which is not required for auto loan. Okay, so that we can do later. So now let's create a common process that should be reusable to both auto loan as well as home loan. Okay, so put it in approval process, and we'll write down step by step. Okay, Okay. So now it is in draft mode, right? So by default it will be the draft mode. That means like, so currently we are working on the flow. So like, so we do not have the proper, like, without assignment. So, we cannot, at least we should have single assignment, to create a flow, right? So since it is in draft mode, so it will allow even if you are not, putting proper rules or proper flow shapes. And later we can, turn off the draft mode and we can use it. Okay. So now, so what will be the first step? So we need to calculate the borrower's risk. Okay. So for that, so we will create a decision table. So decision table is part of the decision category. Okay. So calculate borrower's risk or determine borrower's risk. So now, so before putting the conditions, either for decision table or decision tree, so we need to identify the what are the properties are getting involved. Okay. So now here, so we are considering loan type, the loan amount, and the asset total. Okay. So loan type. So here, so we'll be putting three different properties. One is loan type. So where we have the loan type property, the loan details, right? Okay. So now amount. This is loan amount. The label can be different from property label. Okay. Next. So where we have asset total, the borrower. Okay. And so here, so we need to, select this operator less than or greater than. So based on the condition, or inside condition also we can put this operator. Let's say, you are evaluating multiple rows, and in some rows, you need to put less than. In some rows, if you want to put, greater than, so we cannot put here. So if you put less than, for all the rows it will be applicable. So based on that, you need to put the condition. Okay, clear? So either you can put here, or you can put the operator inside the condition also. Okay. So now, irrespective of loan type, either it is auto loan or home loan, an amount, if asset total is less than liability total, so we are considering it as a risk. Okay. So now, asset total less than, can we put like this? This is the, this is less than, right? Yeah. So if asset total is less than liability total, okay. So here either you can put the condition directly, or so you can build from expression builder also. Okay. So let's say we have borrower, go to the properties. This will be from current page, and borrower. Since it is a page, so you have this expand option, so you will get all the properties which are available under borrower. So here we are considering liability total. You can add this. Clear? or you can directly put like this, inside the condition. So if you want to, build some expression, or if you want to, ignore the cases sometimes, right? So in that case, like, we can use expression builder, and also to specify the properties. So it will show all hierarchy. Okay. But like, you can also put like, dot borrower dot liability total, and you can save it, to check, whether this is the valid property or okay. So if asset total is less than liability total, right, it will be risky. Any questions so far? Or you can also put like this. So you remove this operator. Can we put like this? I think we can also put like this. Okay, let me check. Yeah, it is accepted, right? So I can also put like this. But since the same, operator is applicable for all the rows, so you can, select here itself. Clear? So now the next condition, if loan type is auto loan, okay, and amount is greater than borrower income plus spouse income into 2, okay, then also it will be risky. So let's say, borrower income is 10 lakhs and spouse income 10 lakhs. So 10 plus 10, 20, 20 into 2, 40. That means, so, borrower can take loan up to 40 lakhs. Okay. If loan amount specified as a 50 lakhs, then it will be risky, right? So here you can put greater than operator, and here borrower income plus spouse income into 2. It's like, based on the condition. So how can we put that condition here? Yeah, so you can take from here. So go to the property. So where we have borrower income, on which page? Borrower page, right? So go to the current page and you will see somewhere borrower. Okay, expand this, click on arrow, income plus spouse income, right? Borrower plus go to the borrower, then spouse. Where is that property? If it is not available here, yeah, you can, yeah, here, right? Spouse. But so we don't have any properties under the spouse, but still, we can inherit from the parent class, that is borrower. So you can put like this. So manually borrower, you can also put like borrower dot spouse dot income. See now the all inheritance path is showing. Okay, you can put like this. Right, and into 2. Okay, and this is okay. So but like, if this condition is satisfied, then so it will return risky. and it will exit from, it will not evaluate the next rows. Okay, this is for auto loan, right? So since it is a drop down, so we'll be able to select those values. So if it is home loan, then the loan amount is greater than into 3, like borrower income plus spouse income. Let's say 10 lakhs, 10 plus 10, 20 into 3, 60. So they can, borrower can take the loan up to 60 lakhs. If it is more than that, then it will be risky. And here we are considering one more thing, I think. Okay, that is fine. Yeah, clear. So for all the scenarios, it will be for all other. That means, for example, let's say, yeah, if assets total is greater than liability total, then again it will evaluate this condition, right? For example, if it doesn't satisfy it, it will come else if, and again it will check. So if this condition is satisfied, it will return this. If none of the conditions satisfied, then it will go no risk. Okay, that means, let's say you are taking the loan for 35 lakhs with auto loan, and your income is 10 and borrow spouse income is 10. So then in this case it will accept. Okay,
First condition, loan type can be anything. So
yeah, irrespective of loan type. Yeah, so either it can be auto loan or home loan.
You don't have to specify that or without condition.
Yeah, let's say you are providing for home loan. So even if asset total is less than liability total, and if you are taking home loan, you should accept. So in that case, you can specify that. But here, the irrespective of loan type, either it is auto loan or home loan, if asset total is less than liability total, we are rejecting it. Okay. So now take this decision table and invoke in the flow. Okay. So what is the flow shape we have to invoke decision table or decision tree? So we have here the decision shape. So have we used utility somewhere? Yes, right? Yeah, that is for invoking activity. So the decision shape, so we use to invoke the decision related rules. Okay. Take the connector. So it has to connect properly. So once you connect it to the flow shape, so you will see green color highlighted one, right? So that means it is connected properly. Okay. So double click on the decision. Yeah. So which one we are calling, decision table or tree? Table, right? So here we have some other options like fork. So where you can call the when rule in the connectors, we can call decision tree. You can put some expression, map value like that. So these we don't use. Okay. So now we calculate borrower risk. So now connectors are coming out automatically based on the written values. Okay. So if it is risky, then yeah. And we'll discuss about the statuses, work object statuses. So once it completes, okay. So and here we can update some status. So now, if it is not risky, then it has to go for manager approvals. But before it is going for manager approvals, we need to determine PMI premium. Okay. So again, so here we'll have some decision. If PMI is required, then we need to calculate that. Otherwise, we don't need to calculate. Okay. If it is not risky, it will go for manager approvals always. Okay. But before it is going for manager approvals, we are checking whether PMI is required or not. Okay. So now, so on what basis we are checking that? Yeah. So down payment by asking price is less than 0.2. That means less than 20%. So we need to calculate PMI premium. So create a when rule here. So create a when rule call. PMI premium. Determine so you can also write decision rule, but this is simple condition, right? So you don't need to go for that. Okay. So if so where we have those properties, asking price and down payment, on which page? Loan details, right? So loan details dot the down payment by loan details dot asking price. Is it correct? Okay, less than 0.2. Okay, that means if it is written true, we need to calculate PMI premium. That means if this condition is satisfied. Okay, loan details dot the down payment by loan details dot asking price. Okay. So now how can we call this when rule here? If we want to call the when rule, we need to use the fork option in the decision shape. Okay, type fork. So in the connectors, we can call the when rule. Clear? See here. Here we selected, the fork option. This is for PMI premium. And inside the connector, we have an option to invoke the when rule. Determine PMI premium. Okay. That means if it is written true, then if it is less than 20, that means like we need to calculate the PMI premium. Otherwise, no, right? So what we do is, so here we put this condition, and this is like, can put else. Clear? We take the connector. When determine premium, PMI premium. If this is satisfied, it will come here. Otherwise, otherwise means else, right? So it will come here. And here we can update the status. Okay, no. So, but like, whether it is required or not, it has to go for manager approvals, right? So we can put like this. Take this connector. One second. But so in order to calculate, so PMI premium, so we need to use the utility. Then here you use assignment for approvals. Okay, understand? Take this connector. Clear?
Satya, can you explain one more time that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here, so if it is the risky, the first step, it is it is ending here, right? Where is that? Okay, so it will be completed here, means flow will be ended here, right? So if it is not risky, then it will go for manager approvals. Before it is going for approvals, so we are determining whether PMI premium is required or not. If PMI is required, then we are calculating it and going for manager approvals. Okay. Otherwise, also going for approvals without calculating PMI premium. Okay. Any question? Calculate PMI. That's it. Okay. So now, in order to calculate the PMI premium, so we need to consider loan type, the loan purpose and terms. Okay. So for that, we'll be creating a decision tree, and we cannot invoke the decision tree here, right? Okay, but we can invoke activity. So what we do is we will invoke decision tree in the activity. Okay, and we invoke activity here, and we, that return value, has to be assigned to some property. So we have a property called PMI premium, right? So we created that in the loan details related class. Okay, right? So now create a decision tree to determine the PMI premium. Okay. So we are calculating if it is less than 20, right? If it is less than 20 means it can be also lesser than 10, right? So what we do is first we will calculate, this for if it is less than 10, then 20. Okay. So we need to put first 10%, then 20. So we cannot put, first 20, then 10, because, so even like, if you put 8%, that is less than 20, right? So first condition will be satisfied, it will not come here. But here, if it is less than 10, so we are calculating the different, PMI. So first we need to consider less than 10 scenario, means these conditions, then less than 20. Okay. Clear? So this is the decision tree rule form. And how can we put the condition? If down payment by asking price is less than 0.1 and we are considering loan term. So loan details dot loan amount. Yeah, sorry, down payment, right? Yes. By loan details dot asking price is less than 0.1, right? Yeah. So continue. Because we are also considering terms. What is that? If loan term is 15 years, how much we are returning? 0.007 into loan details dot amount by 12. So this will be the PMI premium. So it will be like 700 something. Like based on it, it is like based on the loan amount. Okay. So how can we put that return value here? Loan details dot. So here we do not have expression option. Loan details dot amount by 12 into point 007, right? Next, if it is 30 years, so it should be the sibling of this condition, not a child. Okay, put the cursor here and click on one more. These two are child of this condition. So again, if loan details dot terms 30 years, how much? It will be like 9. Okay, so loan details dot amount by 12 into 0.009. Clear? So it is less than 10%, but not 15 years and 30 years. That means for all the terms other than 15 and 30, it will go otherwise, and it will return something like 0.006. Okay, or you can put here 6. So it is 15 years, right? So you can, like, based on the condition, like the requirement, you will be putting these values. Clear? So for other than 15 and 30 years, it will go otherwise and it will return. Let's say if you selected 25 years or 20, it will go otherwise and it will return this one. Okay. So now, put the cursor here, click on add row. If it is less than 20%, that means 0.2. Then return or continue? Continue, right? So here 15 years, 30 years, but different the values, right? That means like it will be, so that means like your borrower is paying more than 10% and less than 20. So obviously PMI premium will be lesser than this one, right? Okay. 15 years, right? Loan details dot terms. How much? Then loan details dot terms. 30 years, and what is that? Okay. Yeah. Clear? So now, for all other terms in this condition, so borrower is paying more than 10 but less than 20, and let's say selected 25 years. It will be like, how much? 5, right? Okay. Otherwise, that means if it is not less than 10% and 20%, it will go otherwise, but it will never happen because so we are determining this if it is less than 20. So we are already putting that condition in the decision, right? Okay, but so you can define otherwise for this. Okay, so now let's invoke this decision tree in the activity. Okay, and invoke that activity in the decision, utility. Okay, so we have a activity method called property map decision table and property map decision tree. Okay, so property map decision table is to invoke decision table, and tree is for invoking decision tree. Okay, create an activity. Create an activity called calculate PMI premium. The next step, create an activity called calculate PMI premium and invoke the decision tree. So this is very important. So in the interviews they will ask like, so what is the method to invoke table or tree, something like that. We are invoking tree, right? So we need to select property map decision tree. So what decision tree? That is determine PMI premium, and this will return some value, right, in the runtime. So that value has to be assigned to which property, that we need to determine here. Okay, so loan details start PMI premium. So this will be assigned, return value will be assigned to this property that we can see on the clipboard. Okay, and input, like, if you are passing as a parameter, some of the details for decision tree, so we need to, we can select that and allow missing properties. If, let's say you invoke a decision table and some of the property values not available on the clipboard to evaluate. So you have specified, multiple conditions, and and some of the values are not available to evaluate, or even properties. So in that case, it will throw an error. But so the best practice is always we need to select allow missing properties. So if some of the property values are not available on the clipboard, it will consider the available property property values and it will evaluate the conditions. So let's say you are considering loan type and amount, but amount property is not exist in the clipboard while evaluating. So in that case, it will throw an error. But if we select this checkbox, so it will consider loan type. Based on that, it will return the result. Okay. So we'll do that practically as part of the interview questions discussion. Okay. So this is very important. The best practice is you need to select this allow missing property checkbox. Okay. And we can also call decision table or tree in the data transform by using the function. Okay. We have a function called obtain value. So where you need to pass, decision table, and so parameter allow missing properties. If you put true, that means checkbox is enabled. If you put false, disabled, like that. Okay. Any question here? Simply this decision table return value will be assigned to this property. Okay. That's it. So now this will work on primary page. Now take this activity, since we are invoking in the utility shape and activity type should be utility, and take this one and invoke in the flow. Okay. Any question? Next, so here we'll be designing the separate screen for approvals, and we have out of the box screens. So for this manage approvals we use those, and for loan officer we will design our screen like for approvals. Okay. So now let's say take the connector, and we have a approve. So here we have a likelihood, right? So approve is out of the box flow action, so we haven't created. So and similarly we are putting take one more connector for withdrawal. That means like either manager can approve or can withdraw this kind of reject. Okay. So which one will be displayed first? Let's say you displayed both connectors, and in one connector you specified one flow action, that is approve, and in another connector is specified withdraw. Okay, so which one will be appeared to the user, which one will be displayed? So that is based on the likelihood. So this, like the sum of the connectors, the likelihood of all the connectors should be 100. Okay, so now if we put 40 to the withdraw and 60 to the approve, that means always approve flow action will be displayed, and if manager want to withdraw, he has to select from actions menu. Okay, so if you put more likelihood for withdraw, then always withdraw option will be withdraw screen will be displayed first. If manager want to approve, he has to select from the drop down. Okay, so put more for approve because there will be 60% of the probability to be approved it. Clear? So, any question here? So we are not routing, we are just designing the flow. Okay. And later, like, we will route this to appropriate users. So now, so if you look at assignments, so by default, you see current operator, right? That means whoever create the work object, they will be able to perform on. But it should not be the case. It has to be routed to the appropriate users. Okay. So that will be handled after this. Any questions so far? So now, once manager is approved, again, so we need to check whether loan officer approval is required, okay, or not. This is approved, right? Yeah. If it is approved, so we will determine this. And if it is withdrawn, then we'll update the status saying that manager withdrawn, like this. Any questions? So now, if it is required, so if it come here, that means what? This will be like, manager is approved, right? So here we'll have one more assignment for loan officer approvals. Guys, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now again, the manager can approve, sorry, loan officer can be, yeah, loan officer can approve or reject it. So in the same screen, so we'll handle both, like, so we'll provide kind of drop down. So either, manager can select approve or, reject value from the drop down. Based on that value, we need to update the status accordingly through our automated rule. Okay. That means, like, we can update the status through activity based on the approval value. Okay. So this is, how it is going to be. So we configured till here. So in the next class, we'll be creating a decision table or tree, to determine loan officer approvals. And if it is required, it will come here. Otherwise, it will be ended here. Okay. Loan officer required. That means if it is yes, so like, so we'll have two different written values, like, yes or no. And if it is yes, it will come here. Otherwise, it will come here. Okay. Any questions so far? So practice till here, like, so create table tree and call the decision tree in the activity and invoke. And so we'll continue this part, okay, tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Satya.